Hello everyone and welcome to another Let's Play. This is Laura Bow, the Colonel's Bequest. We are still in Act 2 and when we last left off I had been trying to get in the cellar, which we can't do yet. So we're off to go. We're going to do something else here in this scene. If I can get there we go. If I can get the game to respond. Okay, so if we go in the kitchen, Lillian and Celie are still talking. And we haven't seen them since Gertie died. So, whoops. What we did in the last game, we have seen them because it was the last Let's Play. What we did in the last Let's Play was we told Lillian about Gertie, and she went to check on her and said there was nothing there, which we already know that the body's gone because we noticed that too. So someone has... We could almost believe that Gertie's death was an accident. Maybe she got up and sleptwalked her way out of the open window. Well, she would have had to open it too because it was closed. So maybe she got up, sleepwalked her way over to the window. Aha! I can go in the cellar. I thought I could. Haha, we just had to wait for Jeeves to go in. Haha! This must be the butler's room. Actually, it's not too bad considering it's down in the cellar. Thank you. I was really going, why can't I get in the cellar? I thought I could at this point. We had to wait for Jeeves to come back to his room. So Jeeves has a toilet. If you need to use one, go upstairs. Jeeves has a sink down here with a mirrored medicine cabinet on the wall. He's got a dresser. We haven't looked at Jeeves before. Jeeves is the Colonel's imposing butler. Though you find him somewhat good-looking, he nevertheless gives off a disconcerting feeling of secretiveness. You have noticed that Jeeves generally keeps to himself and seems to talk in little more than monosyllables. You wonder about him. He is trying to take a nap. And there's something over here that's kind of standing out, and it is a box of crackers. So, can we examine this medicine cabinet? There's nothing you need in Jeeves's medicine cabinet. Can we talk to Jeeves? I deserve a little peace and quiet in my own room. Can we ask him questions? Kindly leave my room. Okay, he doesn't want to answer questions. So we're going to take the crackers. You ask Jeeves if you can have the crackers. He nods his head in approval. I like that. It's a nice touch. In a lot of adventure games, you just go around pocketing everything you find. And here we actually asked. What happens if we try to tell him about Gertie? Please leave. Okay, he doesn't want to hear. Jeeves, I found a dead body. Please leave. Fair enough. Now, Beauregard is back in his doghouse. And whenever we were in the last time playthrough, we threw the soup bone for him and searched his doghouse, and we found a necklace. And it's a necklace with, it's a very small amethyst and crystal stones. We don't know who this necklace belongs to. Maybe Gloria. Gloria wears very pretty clothes and a feather boa. But I feel like Gloria would wear big stones, not little ones. And I also know that crystal and amethyst are stones that are often used by people who practice magic. And someone mentioned that Celie practices magic. And also, she actually lives here and might know who the necklace belongs to. So we're going to show the necklace to Celie. My necklace! I was wondering where it got to. Well, Missy Laura, thank you. So we have returned the necklace to its rightful owner. So now we're going to go out into the hall. And the time is... I've lost track of. It's 8:30. Alrighty. We're gonna go into this parlor where Ethel is still getting as drunk as she can. Look at drink. It appears to be a very strong alcoholic drink. Feed cracker to Polly. Gonna tell him. Racehorse scam. So there are 6 crackers, and you can give the parrot 1 cracker an act to get new information. The racehorse scam is probably a reference to Wilbur and Clarence, where they stole money from Colonel Henri in order to... They were hoping to make the money back and then some with a racehorse, and then they could put the money back and no one would be the wiser and they would have profited. But instead they lost everything, and now that's Henri's money that's gone. I thought there were 7 acts and there's 7 crackers. But we weren't able to get the crackers in Act 1. I tried really hard. You had to go down in the cellar, and we couldn't go down in the cellar in Act 1. So I'm not sure if I did something wrong or if I'm misremembering the number of acts. Maybe there's 8 acts. I don't know. We'll find out. So, whoops, went up here if we didn't need to. We're going into the billiard room. And it's 8:45. Everything all right, Gloria? I suppose, darling. Let's just get on with this game. So, Clarence and Gloria are playing billiard, which is apparently not the same as pool. Pool has pockets and more balls than that. I'm not really sure how to play billiard with no pockets and just 2 red and a white. Not really sure how that would work. But it is a game, and I just don't know it. So, look through the holes. You seem distant, babe. What's the matter? Well, darling, this is very difficult. What's difficult? You and I want to end it. Are you joking or something? That's ridiculous. No, darling, I'm not joking. I have a new beau. He's a director. Well, I have to think about this. She doesn't actually need your consent to break up with you, Clarence, but see you around, sweetheart. So, he could have taken that better, but he could have taken it worse, I suppose. Oh, crumbs. No, that is not what I meant to do. Well, crap, I did it wrong. Well, just watching the doctor read a magazine. Fortunately, I save regularly. 8:45 is now, and we'll just do a skip scene. So that's nice. It's almost like they knew there would be times when you'd go, oh no, and have to reload. I didn't think looking at Wilbur reading his magazine would advance the time. Okay, here we go. Alright, we saw this just now. So, apparently we should save our game. Now, before we go look at Wilbur and advance the time by looking at his magazine, we're going to go back into the billiard room. Gloria's alone, listening to the Victrola. I don't think we can talk to her. Yeah, she's more in the mood to listen to music than to talk to you. Now we're gonna slightly rearrange our desk because a cat has joined us. Okay, now we're gonna go back upstairs. Back upstairs. There we are. And we're going to go into Rudy's room. And he is trying to kiss Fifi. Leave me alone, you cad. And she slapped him and stormed out. So, that was interesting. Let's look at Rudy. Rudy is having a drink while relaxing in his room. Look at drink. You think it's bourbon? Talk to Rudy. You know, Laura, you're a very attractive girl. Yeah, that's not going to work on us any more than it worked on Fifi. Ask about Fifi. I know what she's after. I've got her completely pegged. So, what's interesting here is that Rudy is trying to seduce Fifi, and this will not be a single isolated incident. I think we see this again. And it's unclear whether he's genuinely serious in his gross pursuit of her, which I call gross because he's trying to get her despite her wishes and stated intentions. So he's icky, you know, grabbing her and trying to kiss her against her will and forcing her to slap him to get away. That's assault. It's unclear whether the assault is how he usually goes about trying to seduce women, in which case, ew, gross Rudy. Or if he's perhaps trying to prove that Fifi is only interested in money, and, you know, maybe he's trying to get her into a compromising position so that he can tattle on her to the Colonel Henri and get rid of her. That wouldn't make him more sympathetic, and it would still be assault, and it would still be gross. It's just we don't know exactly what's motivating him here, and, you know, maybe it's both and. It doesn't necessarily have to be either or. What happens if we tell him about Fifi? You know, Fifi could be used for advantage if a person were smart. I'm not sure what he means by that. What about telling about Fifi and Jeeves? I don't care about it. Fifi and Henri. He's an old fool to get caught up in a flimsy affair like that. He's an old man with money, and she's an attractive young woman who would like to have it. It's very simple. So that's interesting. If we ask him about Fifi and Henri, it's a slightly different answer than if we tell him about Fifi and Henri. They really did do a lot of dialogue for this game, and I think it's probably easy to miss a lot of it if you don't do the exact right combinations for everything. Fortunately for us, a lot of it is repetitive. We didn't actually learn anything new there. So if we miss some, it kind of cancels out. Speaking of, where is Fifi? Okay, she has gone up to her room. Fifi is primping at the vanity. Are you okay? Talk to Fifi. Oh, mademoiselle, excusez-moi, but you should not be seen here. Or in here. But we've never had a chance to talk to Fifi before, so let's ask her some questions. Ask about Celie. Celie is always sticking her nose where it does not belong. Okay, ask about Rudy. Mon Dieu, he is nothing but trouble. Got kind of a... I did say this game relies very heavily on stereotypes, so we've got the French accent very heavily applied over all her speech. Henri stood what's behind his back. They could be big trouble for him. Okay, let's ask about Ethel, which I didn't spell correctly. It is not so good that Madame Ethel drinks too much of the liquor. That makes Henri very sad. Oh. It's kind of new to think of Henri as sad about anything. I love working for Henri. He is a wonderful boss. Okay. Gloria is much like her mother. Henri should keep his eyeballs on that family. What about Gertie? I have said too much already, but I think she has her sights set for all of Henri's money. What about Jeeves? Oh, I am quite fond of him. Huh, she admits it. Wilbur. He is harmless, mademoiselle. Do not worry about him. What about Lillian? I do not like to talk, but Mademoiselle Prune does not like me. She always gives me the dirty looks. Well, yeah, she does that. I do not like that man at all. So that was Clarence. So I think Wilbur, he is cute, but Clarence, I do not like him. What about the estate? Does she get to leave the house much? I do not know what Henri sees in this place. It is really, how you say, creepy. It is that. She's not wrong. Let's show her the hanky. It does not look familiar to me. Ask Madame Prune about it. So that's several people who've suggested that it might be Ethel's. And there's nothing else that we want to show her, so... let's go visit Henri's room. The Colonel is gone, and the elevator is gone as well. So maybe he went downstairs. And right now, because I know we're going to need to do this later, let's examine the cannon. Look inside cannon. You see a tarnished brass key hidden inside the barrel of the cannon. So we're going to say take key. You remove the key from the barrel of the cannon and take it with you. And I think that is everything for Act 2. We can't use the elevator because currently you don't see an elevator, just an elevator shaft. It is probably downstairs. You see the Colonel sitting in his room, so he has come back up from the elevator. Fair enough. There is nothing of interest in Gertie and Gloria's room. Also fair. Whoa! That's what you get for being such a snoop, Laura. I did mention, okay, that sometimes you can randomly die in the secret passageway. That's why we save. Okay, open door. And that brought us into Gertie and Gloria's room. I do not know that you need to go through all of those hidden passageways, but I am trying to do so for the sake of completeness. Look in trash. Can. Basket. Currently it's empty. Wash hands just because we're here. Okay. We're going to be handling evidence soon, and we've already touched one dead body. It's just clean. Now we're going to go downstairs and advance to Act 3, which we already accidentally did by watching Wilbur read a magazine, which was such a momentous event that it had to be, it had to advance the act entirely. Boom. Okay, it is now 9 o'clock, and we are watching Wilbur read a magazine. Hello, Wilbur. How's that magazine treating you? Ah, so you're Lillian's friend. Laura, is it? You look very nice, Laura. Very nice indeed. Didn't we already get that from him? I think some of the dialogue resets. Let's tell him about Gertie. Oh, no. I'd better go check on that. He is a doctor, after all. Although, we know the body isn't there, so it's like they're not listening to us. You're crazy, girl. Gertie's not there. Fine, fine. So let's ask about Gloria. I did help her with a little problem once, but I shouldn't talk about that. What happens if we tell him about Gloria? Poor Gloria. She has more problems than she lets on. If she'd only listen to me. Fifi's just a fun-loving, spirited girl. So, okay, we don't really have anything there to do. Kind of weird that seeing him made the act go forward, just like seeing Gertie made the act go forward when she was sleeping. You don't suppose... Oh, okay. Something looks wrong here. A chair has been knocked over and there are signs of a struggle on the floor. So what is going on here? There's no body. A fireplace poker has been dropped on the library floor. You wonder how the small pink feathers got on the floor. They look like they may have come from a pillow or a feather boa. A chair has been knocked askew. So I was gonna say we're gonna get the feathers. You see no sense in carrying around a bunch of feathers. Well, thank you so much. You get poker. As you retrieve the fireplace poker, your eyes happen to fall upon some small pink feathers scattered upon the floor. Look at poker. So we can see it, but right now we can't really do much with it. Pick up chair. Don't worry about it. Jeeves will get it. And actually he will. It's true. A little bit later on, it's possible to come in here and Jeeves will... Jeeves will ignore your warnings to pick up the chair and vacuum up the feathers. Wilbur's magazine was left behind, which we're not close enough to look at. You read the name of the magazine. It's called the Racehorse Quarterly. Upon examining the open page, you see a picture of a beautiful thoroughbred named Sunny Boy. The name Sunny Boy has been circled in red. So either that was the racehorse that they invested in and lost everything all over, or it might be a new horse that Wilbur was hinging all his hopes upon. Now we're going to go upstairs. And we're going to go into the secret passage again. There's something in the secret passage. An old cane lies on the floor. So we're going to take that cane. Okay. And we're going to look through the holes and see what the Colonel is up to. The Colonel has left his wheelchair and is walking around. This is funny to me. He actually, he walked around to go poke at the fireplace. That's supposed to be like a big reveal that, oh my god, he can leave his wheelchair and walk around, which I think is hilarious because I have a mobility issue, and a lot of people who use and need wheelchairs can do some standing up, moving around, going to the bathroom. It's not like he's faking or anything. It's just some people need a wheelchair literally all of the time 100%, and some people need a wheelchair 95% of the time, or 80% of the time, or 70% of the time. I have to use the little motorized scooters sometimes at the grocery store because if I'm having a bad back day, it's walking is just not happening. So it's just funny to me that it is important to know that the colonel can get around his estate without a wheelchair because that's going to affect some of the clues that we find. But at the same time, I think a lot of players have historically treated that as a huge reveal that he doesn't really need the wheelchair. He can move around. Well, a lot of people who need wheelchairs can move around. So that's not okay. So we're going to go back to visit the colonel. And he is smoking his cigar. Talk to Henri. Quit coming in my room, young lady. Show cane. Leave my cane alone. Show Hanky. It ain't nothing I care about. Tell about Wilbur. We did just find... Quit bothering my guests. Show poker. I don't want to look at it. Okay, not very helpful. What happens if we tell him about Gertie? Have we tried that? You ain't pulling the wool over my eyes, young lady. So he doesn't believe us about his dead sister-in-law. Or he knows she's dead and is pretending to not believe us. We're back in Fifi's room, but something has changed. We have a decanter of cognac up here with 2 glasses. We last saw that down in Polly's room, which reminds me that we need to go talk to Polly. Look at book. What is Fifi reading? Ask about book. How would I know about that? Okay, so we don't get to know what she's reading, which is a shame because I would like to know. Might be something good. Might be something worth reading. I'm trying to think what would have been popular in 1920, and I'm not 100% sure. I did take the history of the English novel, but it's been a few years since that class. Let's talk to Polly. And let's give Polly a cracker. She's after me! Ah! So afraid! I'm not sure who was supposed to say that the parrot repeated it. Maybe Wilbur while being chased by someone? That seems like a strange thing to just randomly say while being chased. She's after me, I'm so afraid. But, okay. Okay, there's a secret passage for that. So we have taken the doors for both of those, I believe. Glorious stuff. Gosh, dang it. No, 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 no. The interesting thing about this game is when you're playing it for the first time without a walkthrough, the constant updating of the time can actually be incredibly effective in creating a tense atmosphere because it very much does feel like you're screwing up constantly. Which is kind of how I would feel if there was a murderer running around and I was failing to save people from being killed. like time is your enemy, like you're messing up, like things aren't going the way they ought to be. Let me try and move the armoire again. I want to try something. When we found the cane, you notice a faint aroma of perfume. Okay, I was expecting cigar smoke. But perfume will do. So now let's go to Rudy and Clarence's room. It's now 9:30. Or sorry, 9:15. This ain't for you, kid. That appears to be addressed to us. So Rudy is telling us to please leave. Fine. We have ways of listening to your conversation. Look holes. Who is this so-called director that Gloria is seeing now? I had to punch his lights out for getting between me and my gal. Gloria was never your gal. Just because she went out with you a couple of times, you thought you owned her. Well, I got news for you, buddy. My sister doesn't need to settle for the likes of you. As a matter of fact, you were nothing but a mere dalliance for her. Dalliance? Ha! Well, you're the one who can't make a commitment to anyone. You're just trying to sink Gloria down to your lousy level. You ain't good enough to kiss the ground she walks on. You're nothing but a low-class jerk. Quit butting in between me and Gloria. This is none of your business. I'll handle it the way I want, and I won't be asking your permission. I'm warning you, Jack. If I see you near my sister again, I'll cut you up in little pieces and feed them to the dog. Got it? And he raised his fist. Rudy is not happy. And then he glides out of the room. Well, they don't seem determined to be friends. Which is fair enough. Clarence is sleeping, which seems dangerous. Clarence must be tired. Perhaps you ought to tiptoe out and leave him alone. All right, good knowing you, buddy. Wilbur is missing. We don't know what happened to him. We're assuming something bad because we found a poker and feather boas, but let's check his room at least. He is not here, and his bag is missing. Look for bag. Look at bag. You don't see it here. Close bed. Boom. We put the Murphy bed up. Pull down bed. Huh, that's cool. Close bed. Boop, there it is. Huh, okay, that's very neat. I don't think there's anything else we can do in here. So it's time to go outside again. What happens if we sniff sniff? Nothing useful. So we're gonna go downstairs. And we don't want to visit Gloria because that caused the clock to go forward. So we're gonna go out to the garden. I know it says it's creepy out here, but I actually find it very pretty. Of course, I like that whole Southern Gothic. Now, we haven't been inside this house before. It's Celie's house. Celie's old rocking chair waits for her on the little porch. Not surprisingly, it's Celie's house. We haven't found a room for her in the the mansion, so let's see if she's home. Nice to see you again, Missy Laura. Won't you come in? Celie's place looks quite cozy and comfortable. She's managed to make a home out of a little old shack. A small dresser rests in the corner. A small mirror hangs on the wall above the dresser. It doesn't look like she has running water, so she's got a water pitcher and basin. If you want, we can sit a spell and we'll visit. So sit. There's a, look at bed. A old quilt covers Celie's small bed. Look at stove. A small fire burns in the warm wood stove, warming the place. A pot of good-smelling gumbo simmers atop it. Look at shelves. Various odd-looking jars fill the shelves. Look at table. A single carrot on the kitchen table captures your attention. Look at Celie. Celie has changed her hostile attitude. She actually appears very friendly and nice. So the reason she's friendly is because we recovered her necklace. I want to thank you for bringing back my healing necklace. I've been feeling kind of poorly lately. I know you've never been here before, but you like a good story? Let me tell you an old tale around these parts. A long time ago, right before the Civil War, this place was a bustling sugarcane plantation. But during the war, this place was ruined and the owners killed. They had a daughter, Sarah, who was away at school during all the trouble, and folks round here say that they hid the family jewels somewhere on this here property for her to someday find. She never did, though. Not long afterward, the poor girl died of a terrible fever. They say Sarah haunts the old graveyard like she's still looking for the missing treasure. Of course, it's just a story. Folks round here like to believe it, but I ain't never seen nothing except... No, it wasn't anything. I'd be mighty careful walking around out here if I was you, Miss Laura. You seem like a nice, quiet girl. Not at all like Missy Lillian. I'm kind of confused why you came all the way out here for Missy Lillian's family gathering. As far as I know, you're just a stranger here. I have a bad feeling tonight. You best watch out for yourself. It's been nice chatting, but I'm getting kind of tired. So, she makes many good points. We are here for a friend that we don't seem to know very well. I think we came just to avoid our studies. Let's ask her about Rudy. I see nothing but trouble with him. He fritters away his life in those drinking establishments, takes up with all kinds of women, and spends all his money at the gambling tables. Why, I hear tell he's up to his ears in gambling debts. Interesting. Ask about Ethel. Most of Ms. Ethel's troubles started when her husband killed himself about 17 years ago. Lottie, that was a messy business. After that, Miss Ethel sort of fell apart and started in on her drinking. That's sad. What about Henri? Colonel Henri is a nice enough man. All he wants is to be left alone. How does he feel about Ethel? What do you think I care about it? Okay, fair enough. I think it's pretty plain what's going on there with Colonel and Fifi. Let's ask about Gloria. Missy Gloria ain't much different from her mama. Just younger is all. Let's ask about Gertie. She don't care about nothing about Colonel Henri. All she wants... she don't care nothing about Colonel Henri. All she cares about is his money. It's just the same as with her poor dead husband. Does not think highly of Gertie. Ask about Jeeves. Jeeves is hard to figure. I think him and Fifi could be up to something since I've seen them winking and blowing kisses at each other. Wouldn't know about that. You just said you did, though. What about Wilbur? I don't trust that doctor around Colonel Henri. Don't know much about him, but he don't seem right in the head to me. What about Clarence? I think he took lots of Colonel Henri's money over the years. I don't know why I think that. I just do. What about Lil? Poor Missy Lillian. That girl's had her troubles. I don't want to talk too much, but her daddy's suicide hit the poor little thing hard. And then to have her mama care more about her liquor than her own daughter? Oh, it was sad, all right. Okay, so stand. And would it be all right if we took your carrot? Take carrot. You're not close enough. Before taking the carrot, you look at Celie for permission. She nods her approval. With that, you take the juicy-looking carrot for yourself. So, we are going to go now. Thank you so much for having us. And we're going to go do a little bit more exploring. Oh! Look at Ethel. Ethel must need the cool night air to help clear her head, or is she just wandering mindlessly? Okay. Talk to Ethel. Oh, back so soon, Laura. Oh dear. So, look at this bell. Dusty cobwebs cover the old bell that over years has rusted in place. The note that we found that was to Sarah, who we just heard the backstory about from her parents, mentioned that the old bell would ring. And the bell is rusted, so we're going to need to oil the bell. Oiling it may have loosened it. We couldn't reach this bell pull before. Ring bell. You need to pull on the rope, but we can't reach it. We're too short. But the short rope is too high for you to reach the ring. Use cane on ring. Use cane to pull rope. Crap. And we just died. Now you're a real Southern Belle. I thought we were standing far enough away that it wouldn't happen. Alright, let's try this from over here. Use cane to pull rope. There we go. Look out, it's falling! Woo, that was close. Look at bell. What's that attached to the bell? It's some sort of old metal crank. Take crank. Thinking it might be useful, you remove the crank from the bell and take it with you. Cool, good, good. So this is back at the chapel. Let's go inside. Oh no! What happened to Wilbur? Someone must have hit him over the head and killed him. Nervously, you look behind you, but there's no one there. Whew, okay, so examine body. It appears as if Wilbur was fatally hit on the head with a blunt instrument. Can we search body? With trembling hands, you search Wilbur's body and confirm your suspicions that he died by a tremendous blow to the head. What's this? Why, it's Wilbur's monocle. Thinking it might come in handy, you take it with you. We're going to use the monocle as a magnifying glass. So we've got a monocle, an oil can, a poker, a crowbar. We've got some stuff. What we most care about is the hanky, which is evidence to look at. You carefully examine the white handkerchief using Wilbur's monocle, much like a magnifying glass. Why, what's this? You see a small EP, Ethel Prune, in one corner of the white lace trim. And let's look at that cane. Nothing interesting. Let's look at the poker. You examine the entire fireplace poker with the monocle. Oh, there are traces of blood on it. So the poker was maybe not the murder weapon, but it was apparently used to whack Wilbur about the head. We can perhaps surmise from there that he ran out and possibly ran to the chapel for safety or to hide and was caught up with by the killer and they finished the job. Now the parrot said she's trying to kill me And we did find a feather boa or feathers from a feather boa at the scene. And we know that Gloria was not fond of Wilbur. So maybe Gloria hit him over the head and he thought she was trying to kill him? But is Gloria the one who tracked him all the way to the chapel and killed him there? Because we've seen her. She's been listening to Victrola and playing billiards. And furthermore, I feel like she wouldn't do that. Her shoes would get dirty. So there's still some stuff going on here. Let's give the carrot to Blaze. You hold the carrot in front of Blaze's nose, who begins to sniff cautiously at it. He then gently takes it into his mouth and eats it. He looks at you and whinnies softly as if in friendship. So maybe now we can open his gate without being murdered. Good, we can take the lamp. Get lamp? Lantern. Laura closes the gate. Thank you very much, Blaze, for this lovely lantern. We can't light the lantern, even if I could spell, because we don't have any matches. Which is a shame. So, what else can we do while we're out here? The carriage house is still empty. Still. And I'm not seeing... I've lost track of where the playhouse is. There it is. Why didn't I see that earlier? Okay. Not sure why that didn't work, but it works now. Hey, we can get in now. You are inside a leaky old playhouse. It's now 9:30. And then he said, look at Lillian. This is a bit odd. Your friend seems to be reading a book to those old dolls. Okay. 2 little chairs accompany the small table. We can't really seem to look at anything. The wallpaper's peeling off. What happens if we talk to Lil? What are you doing here, Laura? I'm kind of busy right now. I have to finish the story. Hush, Laura, you're interrupting us. So she stuck the key in the lock and... Lillian has retreated into her book again. She doesn't answer you. That's a little concerning. We've heard people mention that Lillian has had some problems. And we haven't had anyone tell us what those problems were. Perhaps we just saw some manifestation of that. Nope, I don't want the time to advance. So we're just going to have to leave Gloria alone for a while. Instead, we're going to go back inside the house through the main entrance. We're going to go upstairs. And we're going to go up, there we go, up the stairs. And Rudy is trying to assault Fifi again. It's now 9:45. Stop! Stop it! Leave me alone! Get out of my room now! You'll regret that, you little vixen. So, Fifi is taking a nap. She looks tired. She's resting in her bed. Talk to Fifi. Please, mademoiselle, let me rest. I still got this cognac here. Look at cognac with monocle. Look at decanter with monocle. Bending over the cognac decanter, you carefully examine it with a monocle. Yes, here is a clear fingerprint. Which means that someone picked it up. Can we drink the cognac? You don't care for liquor, remember? Okay, fair enough. So, let's go back downstairs. We're gonna go to the library, where Wilbur isn't anymore because he is now dead. Poor Wilbur. And I had hoped the elevator would be here. It's not. The incessant ticking of the clock is a nice touch, which disappears when you go upstairs because you're not close enough to hear it anymore. I really am impressed with the sound. And I mean, again, this game is from 1989. Okay, the elevator's not here either. Grr. But that gives us a chance to... What the heck? I broke it. Well, that's why we save every couple of seconds. I got in a stuck position. There we go. Okay, cool. So, first of all, we got to use the secret passage, and second of all, the elevator is here. Look at elevator. Use elevator. Go up. You firmly push the handle, but the darn elevator won't move. Look at buttons. Look at handle. Look at controls. Oh, wow. I did not know that that was a thing. I didn't. There is a handle on the elevator control. On the face of the control are a keyhole and the words up and down. So you can go down. Alright, that takes us down to the library. Go up. And remember that key we took from the cannon. Use key to go up. Unlock controls with key. A faint click is heard as you turn the key in the lock. Go up. Excellent. We will make this work. So, this is a new room. What a dark and creepy attic. It helps to have the moonlight shining in through those big windows. Among all the junk, a stack of old newspapers catches your eye. Read newspapers. This seems to be an old stack of 1890s editions of the Times Democrat. As you look through them, an October 18th, 1998 edition catches your interest. You begin reading. New Orleans, Louisiana. Colonel Henri Dijon came home today after spending several months in the hospital following injuries in the recent Spanish-American War. Colonel Dijon took several bullets to his pelvic and shoulder areas as he attempted to carry a seriously injured fellow soldier to safety. Incredibly, though injured himself, he managed to make it safely behind American lines. Colonel Dijon was duly decorated and discharged with honor by the U.S. Army. New Orleans welcomes home a true American war hero. Is that why the Colonel's in a wheelchair? You wonder. Oh, so there is another room. It is dark back here in the attic. The moonlight from the large windows doesn't light this part of the attic very well. Through the gloom, you can see piles of uninteresting boxes and old junk. However, there is an old trunk that does interest you. This is a very cool room. I like the spider webs. That's a nice touch. Look in trunk. Peering into the open trunk, you see old army clothing and various paraphernalia. This must be where the Colonel keeps his old army gear. Lying on top of everything else, you notice a large officer's cape, a pair of leather gloves, a colonel's hat, and an old pair of army boots. You know, we kept seeing somebody marching around outside through the windows, and it could be someone wearing this stuff. The hat and the boots especially seem to fit. Look at clothes with monocle. That doesn't do anything. Okay. I was hoping it would say whether they were clean or dirty. That would let us know if somebody had been using them tonight. Here's the door. It's got a little blank in it so we can see where our character is, which is a nice touch. Open door. Door's locked. And I do not think there is anything else over here that we can do. So we're going to go down. I'm going to leave it where we found it. We could use it to go down to the library, and in fact my guide tells us to use it to go down to the library, but we found it in Henri's room, and I would prefer he didn't know that we were using his elevator. Now we're going to go visit Gloria. Now it's going to go to, first of all, went to 10, but also went to Act 4. So what I'm going to do is, we're just tearing through here now. I told you the acts would go faster once people started dying. So I'm actually going to go ahead and cut the video here because that's about an hour, and that we're starting a new act, and I want to start a fresh video for that. We're in Act 4 of either 7 or 8 acts. I'm not sure. We'll get there. And stuff is happening. Wilbur is dead. Gertie is dead. Ethel is wandering around the estate, very, very drunk. Rudy is repeatedly trying to, well, is assaulting Fifi, and it's unclear if he thinks this is charming, or if he's trying to discredit her, or if he's just a jerk. It could be many things, really. And we've tried to warn people about the dead bodies, but no one believes us because the dead bodies are disappearing, which means somebody is going around cleaning up after themselves or something, which is kind of scary in its own way. And we're also stumbling towards some kind of mystery about an old family jewels on this plantation that the family hid during the Civil War right before they all died. So that's interesting too. So we will pick up in the next video. Once again, my name is Anna Mardal, and thank you for coming along with me on this wonderful journey. Bye-bye.